everybody. This is Pam Weathers, and you are now listening to House Calls with TNT, where music, culture, and talk radio meet.
Gee, Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Hello. Welcome to House Calls with TNT, where music, culture, and talk radio meets. I am Tawanda.
I'm DJ Tony Gray.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
We are here to bring you all things music industry related, whether it's on the scene or behind the scenes. We will be talking to DJs, artists, promoters, entrepreneurs, all music industry related people.
And beyond.
But before we jump into the show, let me give you the 411 on who we are. We are Mr. and Mrs. House Therapy. You can find DJ Tony Gray on multiple platforms. I am the wife-inger. I am the wife, the manager, the promoter. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the talent.
She would like to think so.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Or you can just Google us. It's time for the Smash Up with DJ Tony Gray.
Look what I can do.
I'm waiting for the music, and then I can feel it, okay?
Hello. Welcome everybody to House Calls with TNT. Before we start the show, you know I have to give my birthday shout out to all the Virgos. So shout out to my Virgo family out there. Give it up. All right, guys, our topic for the day is about relationships. And the twist to it is DJs that are single, and then DJs that are married. Why do you think, Tony, that it works or don't work? Why don't you just tell me a story about when you was a DJ? What was like a weird thing that happened, or a funny story about when you were a DJ but you were single, and how you handled it?
Well, I'm gonna tell a story that happened. I used to DJ at this spot called the Foxtrot. So the owner came to me and says, "We need to have a meeting." I was like, "Okay, when you want to have a meeting?" He said, "Sunday morning, you and the other DJ that play here, y'all have to meet with me." So we meet the next day. So the owner goes, "I found used condom wrappers in the DJ booth."
Oh my God.
And the other DJ goes, "Oh, my bad, that was me, man. I apologize."
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. So
I said, "Yo, you was in the." He said, "You never done that before?" I was like, "No, I'm working."
Wow. Wow. Okay. But I mean, back then, from the stories I've heard about you, you were pretty much out there back in the day. But I guess even when you were out there, and even though when you were Tone, you still had that work ethic of, when I'm working, I don't play.
No.
So even though you had access to the women, if you was DJing, it was like, nah.
No. Don't talk to me while
Don't.
I'm playing. I don't even want to hold a conversation.
You didn't even want a whole conversation.
Excuse me.
You sorry.
Poof, be gone.
Poof, be gone. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I've heard the stories of Tone.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Do you think that when you're single and you're a DJ, I mean, do you guys get, I don't know, I'm not going to say like harassed more, I guess, when you're single? Or do you think it's pretty much the same? Like, what is it,
No, it still goes on. I have
single,
to wave
married,
you
or
down.
whatever.
No. Don't I wave you down and be like, hey, they're coming over here. Hey.
You're so great. But do you think it's possible, though, for a single DJ to date when he's working? Like, is it just that he has to have a woman that's really secure in herself and the relationship for it to work?
You have to have somebody that believes in what you're doing. You have to have somebody that supports what you're doing. You can't. I've dated somebody that actually told me, "When you gonna quit DJing? You too old for this." And I was in my 30s.
Wow.
You're too old to be doing this. This is a single man's game.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a singles man's game. I guess because it's always that perception that if you're single and you're a DJ, that you're sleeping around 99.9% of the time. Yeah. So on the flip side of that, now that you're older, now that you're married, so of course yes, women still come up and try to,
You remember
approach
the
you.
incident at the other spot when the girl came in the DJ booth and I ran out?
Yes, dear.
Trying to give me a hug. I'm like, I didn't know who it was.
Sidebar, it was somebody we knew, y'all. He just didn't recognize her.
I didn't know who she was.
He came running towards me. I'm like, what
whoa,
is he
whoa.
doing? He's talking about, she came in the DJ booth. And she came in I don't know her. I don't know her. She was like, Tony,
I ain't trying to get cut.
you know me.
I ain't trying to get cut.
I was like, Tony, you know who she is. And I told him who she is. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I ain't recognize you.
She on the cat suit.
It was Halloween, y'all. She was dressed up. So, I mean, I get it. But still, he don't play. I'm serious.
Nah,
like, if somebody is even walking towards him, he starts pointing wherever I'm at. Go talk to her.
Exit.
Like, you don't
Exit
even...
stage right.
He don't even
Nope.
let him like even try to talk to
No,
him. Can I just
no.
ask you? He'd be like, nope.
Nope.
See that lady right there with the mic? You go talk to her. Don't come on.
What I tell Ray? Hey, go get your mother, man.
Go get your mother. Go get your mother.
Go get your mother. I don't want no women.
But
in
I
my
don't get it.
face.
Like, why do you do that?
Huh?
Why do you do that? I trust you. Like I know you know how to handle yourself. You've been doing this 40 plus years, so I know you know how to handle yourself. So you really, I mean, I think it's just because you don't be bothered.
Nah, you don't. I don't put myself in those positions. I just don't.
You don't let them women feel like they're comfortable enough to just walk up to you.
Right. I don't want a
misunderstanding.
With
I
you
get it.
or them. I don't want.
Right.
No.
Right. It's a matter of respect.
Right. I respect you. Yes.
Aw. Thank you, dear.
I ain't nothing like I used to be.
No, because I think we both know, like, the way that we both used to be, we couldn't date each other. Like,
No.
No.
Tone and wine? No.
Oh, no.
No.
We
No.
found out about those.
We be sitting on the curb, both all bloodied up and everything.
That would probably
We
have
be
been
sitting
us.
right next to each other with cuffs on. No.
We would.
No.
That would have so probably been us. Oh my gosh. Horrible.
I'm not putting myself in that position.
But you know what? A lot of people I hear, would say to me like, wow, I love what you and Tony have. And, I want that with my boyfriend or with my husband or with my wife. And I always tell them like, yo, like we work at this.
Oh, yeah. This didn't happen overnight.
Oh, no, not at all. Because we both came into the relationship guarded and, oh my goodness, it was like, nah, son.
We all have mental baggage.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
we all
we
have,
talked
yeah.
it out so we wouldn't bring that baggage to this relationship.
Right.
That's what you got to
Right.
do. Let go of that baggage.
Absolutely.
Move
and then
forward.
like you said, if you're gonna date or marry, or if you're married to or dating a DJ, like you have to allow that person to be who they are, and you have to support them how you can. Like for me, I am so involved in what you do. Lord help me. Woo.
You party more than I do when you out when we at the place.
But I mean, I have to.
You go in.
I go in like I keep everybody engaged. You know what I'm saying, and
You
all
sure
of that.
do. They love you.
And I'm all in when it comes to what you do.
Yeah.
But I mean, most women don't want to be, at some events. And I get it. Trust me, if I get
Oh, I
it.
know some guys. They wife don't come to
Don't come to none.
event.
Which I don't blame them. Like, don't
event.
open that Pandora box if it's not what you want to do.
No.
And and it depends on where you're at in life too. I think it depends on your status. Like you're retired, so you're home, during the day, so you can work on music and do different. You know what I mean? Like you have time to prep a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then so it's just different. I mean, I work full time and I do this, and we got to do the husband and wife thing.
And we have this show.
Right.
The editing and all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we allot time for everything. We allow that time. Okay, from this time to this time, this is what we're gonna do. And of course, we separate promoter, manager, wife. I have to
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I talk to you, I have to go.
We don't do business 24/7.
No,
We separate the two.
We have to.
Definitely.
We have to. But yeah, I mean, it's work. It's awesome. But, relationship wise, DJs, encourage your wives to come with you, participate or whatever. And if they don't hold it against them. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're married or dating a DJ, support them how you can. I always say, if you can't do nothing else but cook them a nice dinner, run them a bath, whatever you can do to let them know that you're in their corner, appreciate them. Like Listen, when I say I'm all in, I'm all in. Like, I carry speakers. I hook up stuff, break down stuff, pack vehicles. Like, I'm all in.
She knows how to. She know where all my wires go. She knows where all my wires go. She sure does.
So, I mean, but like I said, I'm a different breed. Like, I'm all in. But I want to encourage you guys to be a part of whatever your spouse have going on. Support how you can.
But there's really not too many.
Oh no,
like you.
Oh no, I'm crazy. I don't know what I was thinking.
there might be a hand. There's a handful that support their husbands, but there's a lot that don't get it. You know?
There's a lot that
don't get it. And that's just not my thing, and stay away.
And stay away from it. Yeah. But I always say, how can I love my husband and not love what he do and support what he does? So even if I wasn't all in with you, I would find a way to support, or I would find, learn how to, if nothing else, like you said, I know your wires, I know how you like to pack stuff. I mean, simple stuff you can do to help, but just don't ignore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where the conflict will come in, because when you start having gigs and stuff, then the wife is like, "Oh, you going to DJ again?"
Oh yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
But don't have a problem spending that money though.
I was thinking I wasn't gonna say that out loud.
Oh, you ain't got to say I said it for you. I know how females are. I am one, so I know they don't have a problem spending that money though.
Not at all.
It's like, oh, you gotta go DJ again. Oh, you just trying to go be with them females, blah, 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 blah. But as soon as you come home, you know what I'm saying, and you got that money in your hand, it's a whole different step. Now you bae again. Now you bae, you boo. So I get it, and I can say it. I can call us out because I'm a woman. Been there, done that. Got a T-shirt for it. All right, guys, that was our segment of relationships, DJs, and marriage and dating. All right, so next up is the House Music Social Media Minute. All right, so let's see what we got first. So we've got Friday, September the 15th, which is today. We've got DJ Antoine Qua presents The Virgo Takeover with DJ Truth, DJ Chillax, DJ Steve Davis, and they're going to be at Mr. East tonight at 2401 Wood Avenue in Roselle, New Jersey. So shout out to them. It starts at 8 p.m. So go out and support DJ Qua. All right, the next one we've got is on Saturday, September the 16th. We've got the 2023 House Music Festival with Terry Hunter, DJ Wakil Ali, DJ Nubian, Just the DJ, and DJ Johnny M.
Nice.
Yes, they will be at Cedar Brook Park in Plainfield, New Jersey. And their event is from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. So please go out and support them at the 2023 House Music Festival. All right, so let's see. The next that we have on deck is, I love shouting these guys out. The Bottom of the Bottle. They're good guys. They have an absolutely great show. They're kind of like us. They're real chill. They're real fun.
Good people.
Good people. And I think we're going to I think we're going to be on the show again. Either both of us or just me. I can't remember.
No, it's your turn.
Is it my...
It's your turn. I've been. All
right, y'all keep on trusting me to be by myself with a glass of wine if you want to. All right, so please support Bottom of the Bottle. They are on every Wednesday at 8:35 p.m. and then on Friday nights at 9:35 p.m. and then Saturday nights at 9:35 p.m. So please go on Facebook, Instagram, and look up Bottom of the Bottle and check them out and support them. That's who we've got on deck next. All right. Well, thank you, guys. That is the House Music Social Media Minute. All right. Well, guys, you know what time it is. What time is it, Tony?
It's time for that house call.
For the house call. For the house call. And who are we going to see today?
You tell me.
Oh, why you acting like you don't know?
We are going to see Millie Milz.
Millie Milz Vega in Jersey. I am so excited. I am so excited. So I am so ready to go. So I am going to load Blue in the car. Tony, don't forget to lock the door. I'm going to drive first.
Okay.
I'm about to leave you. Come on, lock the door. All right, jump in. Let's ride. Knock, knock, knock.
Oh my goodness, who's here? Who's here? It's the Grace?
It's the Grace. Open up.
Shackle Ducky. Okay, come on in.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I like chilling in the recliner, so I'm gonna chill over here, prop my feet up. Tony usually just hangs over here in the love seat, girl. You know, he just be all out the way.
I'm good.
Look. I'm good.
I'm good.
You're on the lazy boy. You taking over my lazy boy, okay?
Yes. Oh, yes. I love it. All right. So, you know, Tony and I out here doing our house calls. And, of course, he have me all over the place, but mostly in Jersey because that's where he's from. And he wants to give his people their flowers.
That's right.
So, of course, we know who Millie Milz is, but please introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure. So, Millie Milz, a.k.a. Millie Milz Vega, hailing out of Perth Amboy, New Jersey. Been in this industry for a little bit of time, but I really, when I started, my roots were really dancing. I was a dancer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
B-girl. Yeah. I was a dancer. I was a B-girl. Lot of back in the day freestyle music. I was into house, hip hop. The original club music back in the day. Hung out in clubs like the Tunnel in New York, Roseland. Yeah. Back then. Yep.
Dope. So when you say dancer, like, was you like break dancing, pop locking, dancing kind of thing too?
Yeah, I was like pop locking, break dancing, B-girl. B-girl.
See?
Yep.
She's from Alabama. She don't know what a B-girl is.
Holla.
You lost her.
B-girl, break dancer.
B-girl.
People
is a break
that aren't,
dancer, babe.
That's a break dancer, B-girl.
Actually,
that's what it meant, babe. That's what it meant.
Hold on. First of all, you're not gonna play. On my intelligence for being from Alabama. First of all. Second of all,
we love Alabama.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Second of all, I was asking because Tony used to break dance as well. So I was
Tony, you got some cardboard? I got some cardboard in the back. I could slap it on. You know what I mean? Let's go. You said you wanted a battle.
I know, right? He want a battle. So hey, we're gonna be pop locking and everything.
Pop locking is just my arthritis now.
Oh my God! You might get stuck, right, Tony? You might get stuck.
I start popping and then locked up. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Y'all two are terrible. Okay, well, keep it going, Miss Millie. Go ahead, finish telling us about you. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So I got into DJing later on in life, around I'm gonna say about in 2010 or 11. But I've always been into the DJing. I watched my brother carry crates on the bus to get to his gigs, and being a break dancer, I really got into the music, like watching him and other people, other DJs back in the day, and then going to clubs. Okay. I've always had a passion. Actually, I broke a lot of needles, a lot of my brother's needles, messing around with his equipment, right? And then my mom had that. You remember that back in the day radio player, the big wooden one with the record player?
Oh yeah. We had big old Magnavox. We had.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. I used to try to scratch on that because I watched my brother doing it, So, but it was always in me. But getting to how I got into it, I got into it around late in my life, around 2010 or so. And, I was more into open format, Latin music, and things like that. Yep. And so I got into that first, and it was by chance because I had hired a DJ, Tony, and I was having an event in Cafe Z. Which Tony Green actually has an event there, and before that, Dawu had an event there. But I was having an event there for my company, and I had already started messing around with the newer technology, like the new Mark mix deck, where you kind of put CDs in, etc. Yeah. So I was already messing around with that, right? iPod, and all of that. And but a small one. It wasn't a real player. You just kind of had two iPods and you played off of that, and then it had one CD player in the middle. It wasn't really a DJ system by any stretch. So my DJ bangs out on me, and not like today where I could just call on a friend and be like, "Hey, somebody banged out. I need you here." I have people today. Back then I didn't. And so I actually went to the record store, into Guitar Center, and I started talking to the guy, and I was like, "Hey, I'm having this party. Can you teach me how to play?" And he was like, "Yeah, come back Tuesday." I said, No, I need to learn right now. Oh, wow. I gotta do this party today. Yeah, he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Yeah, I get the concept. I get the, that there's the up and down. I call it the up and down switch. It was the up and down switch. I had no idea it was channels, none of that. I just knew what it looked like, right?" And then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna show you, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to do a party tonight." And lo and behold, long story short, I bought another system, the one he showed me on. Took it to the party. My dad had 2 speakers. I call him up, "Hey, Dad, I need your speakers." And he's like, "You're out of your mind. I can't believe you're doing this."
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, literally took the speakers to Cafe Z, and I just played. And just, when I tell you, it was just natural. I was already kind of messing around, like I said. And I did a party, and the owner heard me playing. She's like, "Oh, my goodness, you got to do a party here. You're so good." I'm like thinking to myself, I suck. That was a train wreck,
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people came up to me and were like, "Wow, you've been doing this a long time," and I was like, "No, I just learned today." It literally, I just started playing. Wow. This is the first time I ever did this. Yeah, so it was just, I guess I was born for it. I just kind of naturally, I knew what beats were per minute. I understood the concept. And that's how I started, really DJing. That was really how, and then I kept going from there. I got myself a mentor, met somebody that became my mentor, and literally I started doing parties right there in Cafe Z. That was my spot. It was my home. I did an open mic there for some time, and I met a lot of artists and folks that played instruments, comedians, people did poetry. Yeah, everything, you name it, soup to nuts, we did it there. And I played there for several years, and I mentioned a mentor. His name is Reggie. May he rest in peace. He's from North Carolina. His family's from out there, but he lives here in Jersey. And I met him through work, and he and I became inseparable, and he became my mentor. He started talking to me a lot about house music. He loved Frankie Knuckles. He knew him. And he also knew Barbara Tucker. He knew a lot of people. And he kept telling me, "Hey, you really need to get into this. I think you could do very well." And I started getting into house music with him, playing it. I got a really quick passion for it. I did hear it back in the day. I knew all the club records. I snuck into Zanzibar when I was probably 14. So I remember going in there, and I remember the impression I got from being in that place. Yeah, so I remember going in there.
Did that.
Oh, yeah.
I think pretty much everybody.
Said,
I snuck into
Zanzibar.
That's
a rite of passage to sneak in Zanzibar.
That
place and the generation before us was Paradise Garage.
Okay.
Yeah. And I never went there. I never went to Paradise Garage. And I went in there. It was behind the Lincoln Hotel. They used to call it the Stinking Lincoln. Yeah. And I remember going in there, right? And I was so taken back by the sound. And I never experienced anything like that, but I didn't know what it was. And then I started learning more about, the type of music that was being played there and so on. So I knew about house music. So he didn't introduce me to house music, but he helped me find a passion and love for it as a DJ. versus a dancer.
As a dancer, yeah.
And yeah, after that, yep. So, you know, so I started doing these parties by fast forward after the open mics and all of that. And then in July of 2016, he passed away. My mentor, he passed away. I was away on vacation and I got a phone call that he had passed away, and I totally wanted to give this whole thing up. Like I didn't want anything to do with it. I kept feeling like this isn't for me. You know, I don't know if I want to do this. I think, you know, it's time to kind of, you know, put up my gloves, like if I've been doing this forever. Right. But it was just something about it because he wasn't there and I was still at Cafe Z, by the way. And by that time I had been doing a whole bunch of other things that I haven't mentioned. So I had a residency in Hoboken. I did a party there every Friday, in Hoboken, New Jersey. I started picking up a lot of side gigs, you know, doing Sweet 16s and weddings and all of that with him, with my mentor. I think we were booked about every weekend, just about, once I started working with him. Yeah. And I didn't know this house music world. I didn't know people in it. I knew some people that were a part of it, but I didn't realize that it was a community or anything like that.
Right.
So after he passed, and I literally gave up the Cafe Z thing, and I said I couldn't do it anymore without him. I just couldn't even walk in the place without him. I just couldn't. Every time I tried to, I will break down. I just, you know, didn't have it in me. So yeah. So his parents, I had talked to his mom, and I said, "Listen, Miss Thompson, I don't want to do it no more. Like, I'm going to sell all my equipment or whatever." She was like, "No, he wouldn't want you to do that." So his mother and father, a couple weeks later, show up at my house with his DJ equipment. Whoa. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, with back then, Tony, you know, the CDJs, the 900. Like, he had them all sealed in white. They're beautiful. If you look at any of my pictures on Facebook, I have them on there. He's my cover photo. He's been on there ever since he passed. Okay. If you look at my cover, yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. Yep. Yeah, so that's me just kind of paying homage to him and always remembering that, you know, he's at the head of all of this for me. You know, so fast forward, they dropped off the equipment and they were like, you know, do with it what you want. But I know he would want you to play on these. We don't want to give them to anybody or sell them. And so so I made the decision there to continue. And then a couple of days later, Deuce's cousin slips me his phone number. I'm at work and he just slips me his phone number. He's like, "You got to call this guy." And he's like, "You remind me, you're like a female version of him. It's my cousin." And I was like, "What?" So he tells me about Deuce. Long story short, I end up calling him and we're on the phone like for 3 hours, literally. The first conversation. Yeah.
Wow.
We're on the phone like just talking about people we knew, and then come to find out, he and I we were breakdancing against each other when we were younger.
I broke dance against him before too.
You did?
Yep.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
That's awesome. So now we could do a senior
Twin
version
City.
of that.
I know, right?
Twin City roller rink. You remember Twin City?
Yes, I do.
Roller rink.
I do.
Love it. Millie said, "Let's do a senior
Oh,
version
my
of
goodness.
it." I love it.
We go back
Yeah,
like that.
we'll call it bringing back the Canes. Yep.
Yes. Oh my God.
Call it
That would be
new
so much
crew
fun.
called Canes and Wheelchairs.
Yeah, Canes and you know how people do diamonds and jeans or something like that, jeans and whatever they call it, denim and diamonds. Yeah.
Listen, that would be so dope.
Anyway, yeah.
That would be so funny.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So then we have that in common. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that we realized that we knew each other somewhat. We crossed paths. And so Deuce had this Friday night show on D-Wall Music Radio that was super popular, and he would have people come over his house all the time, and it'd be a house full of people, and they kind of play into the night, 2, 3 in the morning, people still there.
Wow.
And he invited me to do Black Friday with him. And I came out, I did the Black Friday with him. There was a lot of people at the house. And lo and behold, that became, my home. Like after, I stayed with him. I remember playing with him, and they went to drop somebody off that had too much to drink, him and his lady, his wife now. they took a ride, and it's like 4 a.m. I'm on Mixler thinking, I'm like, this is a real radio show. Like, when do I get to come off air? Like playing into the night, by myself. And he comes back, he's like, you're still on air? I'm like, yeah, you never told me to I don't know how to shut this thing off. Like, I'm playing like 3 hours straight, 4 hours. I'm like, what the hell? Is anybody coming to relieve me at some point? Like, what is this? I gotta go home,
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But yeah. So that's my introduction to DWA Music Radio and to Deuce. And I've been here ever since. Like, I've been with him since then. I picked up a Saturday show called Set It Off Saturdays. I named it after my favorite freestyle song, Set It Off by Strife. And yeah, so and I've been doing that show ever since. It's been oh my God, I'm gonna say 7-8 years, maybe longer. I'm not too sure.
And that
has
show
to be about 7 or 8 years.
I think you're at 10 to 2.
So I'm 10 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep, on Saturdays. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So that's how that started. That's how I started. And I started working closely with him through the years. I'm now the vice president of media for us. So I do some of the marketing stuff, and
wow.
He's the CEO. Yeah. It's been a journey. We've done a lot of good things for the community.
Yes.
Bringing in a lot of DJs that are new in the industry, giving them a place and a platform. That Deuce and Adam Cruz and Scylla VK put together years ago. Homage to them, respect to them for putting that down and together. Yeah, and there's over like 30 programmers on there, that play throughout the week. We're on most of the time from like 8 a.m. to midnight at least, 7 days a week. Yep, so pretty good platform. So just kind of to go back, there's a couple of things I do want to highlight. After I got with... Yeah, and so before I got with Deuce, I had done New York Taj and New York City and a couple of things that like that. But after I got into the house music industry and I started working with Deuce, the first thing I did was I went to the music conference in Miami with Deuce. So as far as in the house music industry, anything like notable that I would say was like really impactful to me is I opened up for the Chosen Few at his birthday party, which was amazing.
Wow.
In Miami, yeah. So I got to meet them. Great guys, so humble.
Yeah.
Super. Oh my goodness, Tony. Let me tell you, and Tawanda, I walked into that room. I opened up for them. They came in with their Chicago crew. Like so many people followed them to Miami. They tore that club up. When I tell you that place was from head to toe full of dancers all over the place. And that was like my moment that I was like, wow, this is a community. Like these people came from Chicago out here to Miami to be with them, and they were all friends. Like you can tell they all rolled in together. And I just saw something that was special. I was like, wow, this is special. These people really doing it. They're really family. And I love that because, that sense of family is super important to me.
Oh, us too. Absolutely. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. But let me ask you this. When did you fall in love with house music? Because I know you said you used to play like an open format and then your mentor and then you met Deuce. But when was it for you when you were like, I love this. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, house is me.
Yeah, so I will tell you, I liked house. I liked it. There was a difference between like exactly what you're saying, which is loving house and liking house music. Right. I like the beat, right? I enjoyed, the vibe and everything. But when I was at Deuce's house and in his room, and Tony, you could probably relate to this. And now, Tawanda, I know you're playing music too. There's just certain songs that just hit your soul, and there's a sound, a certain sound that just if you feel it and it goes through your spirit, it's the spirit like a spiritual awakening. And I remember hearing that song, Everything, You're everything, everything, my joy. I wanna thank you. That song hit me so hard that day. I was playing, and when I all that time I have been playing music, but I wasn't feeling music. I felt that song.
Come on.
Yeah. I was playing music. I was playing it well. I was getting a lot of gigs, but it was like a job. It was a hobby for me, you know. At that point, I became spiritually connected to the music in a different way that I had never done before that.
And that's why I say on the show, for people that listen that aren't house heads yet, like I always say, I'm a baby house head because I didn't get into it until I met my husband as well. So it's like it is like a spiritual thing when that song, when that beat hits your spirit, like you know them, like you are like it just takes you somewhere. And but you have to have the right DJ to deliver it, because you do have DJs, like you said, that it's just a job. They're just gonna play records. But then you have DJs like Tony and you guys that take you on a journey. You see what I'm saying? So it is like I really want people to understand why we do what we do, what it is to be a part of the house music community. And you can find that group, that circle, like you said, with Chosen Few has, and you know the following. It's like, why do people follow? Because these people know how to give it to you. Like you feel like you are on a spiritual journey with them. But they know, you know what I'm saying? They've been in it a long time. You guys have been doing it, so you know what record to play to take you there. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So it's an experience.
Absolutely.
It is definitely an experience. So like you said, you know, you can like house music, but you can love house music, but it has to be delivered the correct way for you to understand what we're talking about. Because most people, they will, you know, most people they know, even like for me, like my husband always talking about, because I'm from the South, I don't know nothing. But I always have to let him know. But I have an ear.
Listen. You gotta know something to Wanda because he's with you. So and y'all rocking and rolling. You guys are doing some great things together. He knows what time it is.
He knows what time it is.
He knows what time it is.
He knows what time it is. Listen, girl, he used to quiz me in the car about music and stuff. I'm like, hold on, no, you ain't trying me.
I plead the fifth.
Oh my goodness.
He was like, wait a minute, you really do know some music, don't you?
Oh my,
yeah,
that's right. That's right.
I didn't know Alabama had radios. I'm kidding.
They had the one that you wind up. You know the wind up for emergencies.
See, you ain't right, Millie. You ain't supposed to co-sign him. You ain't supposed to co-sign him.
I know.
Jersey.
I know.
That's that Jersey thing right there. That's that Jersey thing right there. So, Millie, you got to tell our audience, what do you have coming up? I think you have something coming up in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, so we actually had an event on October 7th, a Latin event happening, and unfortunately, due to a passing of one of the people involved in it, we had to postpone. So so I don't have a date for that, but I am down in Far Rockaway with Sister Love and some other folks on Sunday. And then I have the Puerto Rican Day Parade coming up in Philadelphia, which is going to be huge. It'll be televised on ABC6 in Philadelia. Yep. Well, in collaboration with
That's a big deal right there.
Yep.
That's
that's going to be a good one. And then I've really been focused, and I don't know that if we have a lot of time, but just I've been super focused on my personal career over the last about year and a half. You know, I took a step back for a minute and really focused on finishing a couple of classes that I needed to, and I'm actually getting ready to take some Cornell classes, so I'll be busy again. So I decided to take a little break again this quarter.
Okay.
But I am doing some private events. I got a couple of private events that I've already connected with and have contracts with. But taking a little bit of a break, to focus on that. And then, we have some major plans, to say the least, for next year, 2024. We got some major plans. I'll share them as they come on my page, which you can follow me. You can follow us on thewildmusicradio.com for updates. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook at Millie Milz Vega or DJ Millie Milz, MILZ, no double L at the end, MILZ, Millie, MILLIE, MILZ. You can follow me on all social platforms and get updates on that. And that's it. The summer's wrapped up. This year, like I said, I kind of took it easy. I was focusing on my personal development and really stay, centered and spiritual, right? Sometimes a lot of things happen in life. And, I used to always feel like I have to stay obligated to the music, but the music is always there. As if I'm not there, the music doesn't, I just don't play the same. Sometimes you just need a break.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I feel like, right? Sometimes when it feels like it's too much work, that means I got to take a break. That's kind of my sign. When it feels like it's just work, and that's it, and no play, and it's not fun. And kind of sometimes, you got to take the temperature of the industry.
True.
Right. And, kind of look around you and see if things fit you. It's not you fitting it. I tried some things on, and Tony, you know what I mean? They just don't fit. It just don't fit, right?
I love the way you just put that. You are so right. Because when we book things, it's a lot of stuff that we don't do because it's not a good fit. It's either not a good fit for DJ Tony Gray, the brand, or the House Therapy brand. And just because, and just because you're on a certain platform or it may offer a certain amount of money or whatever, like you do still have to have that balance. You still have to have something that fits you, because I never want him not to be able to be him on that stage wherever he's playing.
Exactly.
And he's the type of DJ, he's so versatile. Like, I don't want him in a box. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And he's like, well, if you don't play just house music, you're not considered a house music DJ. And I'm like, says who? Like, DJs are phenomenal. You guys
Millie,
are
you know
phenomenal.
what I'm talking about. That certain DJs don't get a look because
that's just it, though.
They do everything.
But that's not your issue. That's their issue. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't
I get
you guys.
I get what he's saying.
Yeah,
I get what he's saying. So I'll say this: I've had promoters try to box me into this. I'm an open format DJ. I'm not a house DJ. And I've done things. I've done the Weekway Park. I did Plainfield Festival. I've done all these festivals. I had the block party all that time, right? We brought talent from DJ Spin and all these guys came out. I mean, we played alongside. Tony Humphries was there, right? We had Kenny Carpenter. It's like, I think that there's this stigma around that if you do too much of everything, you can't be great at house music, and that's wrong. It's the total opposite.
Absolutely.
I think that
I just said that last week. I said I put up a person that could play everything more than I would put up somebody that just plays house music.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And I think that, and it's also that if you play everything, are you good at playing everything? There's a difference in that too, because people can probably play it, but are they playing? And the thing is, it's all about an experience. Are you creating an experience for people? Right? And watching the audience and is the music speaking to them? And that's basically all I care about, right? So anytime I put together a set, is who's the audience? Who am I playing to? If I'm down south, even if I'm playing house, you don't play the same house music everywhere either. It depends on where you're at.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you have to play for the people in the room.
Got to play for the people. Yeah, and I'm not saying you always play the same classic, because you can throw something over it, a current track or whatever.
Right.
But if you know that these people, this is what they live for, and it's okay to increase their palette on music, it's okay. Like, it's introduce a song, but they don't want you doing that all the time. They like familiar. If that's what they enjoy and that's the place you're in, I feel like they don't need to adapt to me. I need to adapt to them.
Right.
And so I'll try some things, and if it doesn't look like it sticks and the dance floor ain't moving, what am I doing? Like, why am I still playing for me?
Thank
I
you.
need to play for them,
No,
right? So it's just
I
that,
understand.
right? It's a little bit of that.
I understand.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
a friend of mine came to a party that I did last week, and I played Eurythmics' "Sweet Dreams," and the crowd went crazy.
Yeah.
And he was shocked.
Yep, you see?
He was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I know my
Yeah.
crowd. I know my people.
Right.
I know
Exactly,
what works.
exactly. Yeah, and if they weren't moving for you before, then you got to figure them out. It's
Yeah.
really, sometimes, and sometimes you'll get a crowd that, is blended and they get each other into it. But it's all about the vibe in the room and reading the room. And, there's some DJs I see do it well and some legends that do it very, very well still to this day. Some that still are trying to figure it out here and there. You can see it, but they get it. Because they're crowd readers, right? So even them that they've been playing the same stuff, but you see them in the beginning, they're adjusting. And I respect that. I feel like they're still they always respect the craft. Like, I can't just be this guy. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Respect the craft. I completely agree with you. I am so glad that you were able to speak on this as well. Because Tony and I have all these conversations, and he's always like, "Nah, I ain't gonna say that. I don't want people coming for me," kind of thing.
Right.
I'm like, I get what you're saying, but there are a lot of teachable moments in house music. There are a lot of stigmas that need to be talked about and let people understand. Like, yo, everybody don't feel like that. Just because one person, feels a certain way doesn't mean the whole community feels that way.
No, not at all. Listen, there's two people that I have so much respect for in this community out here. And one is Dan, DJ Dan, right? I think I saw you on his show, Dan.
Yeah,
the other one is Steve Davis. Steve Davis is another one.
Yep.
Right. He posted something while he was away, and it was this small little player, little Newmark, the size of probably two of Tony's big hands, right? Like about that big, right? All jokes aside, right? He goes, this guy just turns out this place with this thing, and he had it in his hand. Everybody's on this. Oh, you need to play on CDJs. It's industry standard. I get it. That's industry. You should be able to play on those. I agree. If you're going to play and you're getting invited, that's the equipment that's there. But if you pick somebody because you saw their style and you saw how they rocked the crowd and people connected with them and they don't know how to play on CDJs, to me, it's like an instrument. If they play on a trombone, why are you giving them a trumpet and you expect them to play the same way they played on the trombone? What are you doing?
Come on.
So to me, is if you booked the person and you saw that's what they played on, why did you expect them to change that because they're playing on your stage? You invited them. So I feel like we need to adjust, and that's what we did at the block party. There were people that never played on CDJs that we had played or did not enjoy playing on CDJs. They liked having a computer, right? So to me is, again, this whole thing about the equipment and what's somebody playing on. I've seen people rock parties on a small controller way beyond what I've seen people do on CDJs. It all depends. It's their preference. Is what they want to play on. But if you invited them, then you need to let them know this is if you accept my invitation, it will be CDJs. At that point, they make a decision. Am I going to come and play?
Am I going to come and play?
Or am I?
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. And it's a choice that they make, and they're making a choice, with that in mind. But if you're going to spring it on them and they get there and you're like, oh, I invited such and such, and now you want to trash them on social media, shame on you. You're the promoter. You're bringing somebody in. You need to let them know what tools they're working with. So it's a two-way street.
Oh, my
right?
God. Listen, I am so glad you said that because when we had our event here and we had a person that was playing, like we sent videos, pictures, everything. Like, this is what you're going to be playing on. Are you comfortable playing on it? And the person was like, yeah, I think so. I think I'll be okay kind of thing. It's like, okay, let us know if you're not, whatever. As it got closer, we reached out again. Are you sure? Whatever. And they were like, yeah. So what we did is the night before, everybody that was on our event, we invited them to the house. So the artists and the DJs came to the house. We did we cooked and everything. Yeah. And Tony took them to the man cave. And he practiced and walked everybody through playing on the equipment. Right. You see what I'm saying? So that person got a chance because even the confidence wasn't there. But once they got hands on with it and had fellow DJs standing by their side showing them before that night was over, they were like,
Yeah, everybody was
all.
taking turns playing. Yeah.
So
Look at that.
the
Look
next
at
day
that.
at the event, it was like boom. They was on it like they had been.
They
on
did
it.
it.
You would have
Yeah.
never known that person.
See?
2 days ago didn't have the
Yeah,
confidence.
they weren't
Had
even
no
trying
clue.
to. They weren't even
Right,
trying to touch
right.
it. Yeah, and it's intimidating. It's like
Right.
it looks like you're going into a pilot's pit when you've
Exactly.
never seen that.
Exactly.
It looks like you. When I went to Deuce's house, I had CDJ 900s. He had them too, but his whole setup, like he had he had the rotary, and I was used to a mixer. I walked in there. He walked me through all the buttons. I was fine. But again, it's somebody showing you instead of criticizing you.
Exactly.
Right on how to do it. I mean, look at Tommy Davis. That guy likes playing on a tractor. That's what he plays on.
A small one.
He
too.
comes out with these
real
big
small
ass
one.
wings and shit. Yeah, excuse my French. He comes out with these wings and you like,
Yo.
oh, you better work, right? He comes out, right? It's entertainment.
It's
He's an
entertainment.
entertainer,
It's
but
a
he can
whole
play.
experience. I'm telling you. I saw him
It's
in
the whole
Charlotte.
experience.
And he's gonna be on that
Yeah.
cruise with us too, with Scoob, the cruise.
Yeah.
So I know this is gonna be like
I'm gonna
so
have a ball.
much fun. But yeah, I'm telling you, girl. Listen, I
Yeah.
am so
Yeah,
glad
man.
that I have to tell my husband like I am so glad that I'm not crazy right now because, like I said, being that I am on the outside looking in. Like I am the audience, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't, raised with house music or anything like that. Don't know anything about it. Learned about it with my husband. So my audience is the same way. So they're like, "What is this? Why is it so popular?" You have the stigmas. You have this. They're asking questions. So that's why I wanted to create this show to bring on people that are not normally on certain platforms, and also not make it a basic Q&A. Like. Explain, teach. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that you're saying today.
Absolutely.
Somebody's sitting like going, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that," or "Wow, she feels the same way I do." Like, okay,
I do.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Identification.
like, I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
There are other people that are
identification.
thinking
Yeah.
the same thing. So that's
Oh,
what
so
I'm
I always ask this. So Tawana, let me ask you this. So before you and Tony started, and you went to a party, did you ever care what anybody was playing on?
Oh,
The
no.
equipment. Did it matter to you?
No,
There you go. So the parties we do are for you.
no.
It still doesn't matter. That's my point. So it still doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, it's almost it's like you want to show differences versus similarities, and there's a division. And to me, that lower power always wants to divide us, and we allow it. When we allow that, instead of it being spiritual, we make it about a competition. Right, we make it about a competition or criticism of this person isn't. I mean, if you see my live streams, I have every type of equipment there is. Like I can play on it. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to.
Exactly.
I don't. Why do I have to? That's why I create my own events, because I don't need nobody telling me what to do. I have a boss at work. I don't need a boss out. No, I'm not. I play on what I just did. We just did the museum, and I played on the CDJs. There were CDJs. Deuce has CDJs. We have 4 CDJs. Okay, great. They look nice. You know what? It was a lot of equipment to carry. I could have just brought my controller at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
Girl,
And
don't
done
even
the
talk
same
about
thing.
that. Ooh, carrying equipment. Speakers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like,
But
what?
the sound, it is about sound. I will
yeah.
say this in respect to the equipment for festivals. I do agree
Yes.
that if you don't have the right controller, your sound card is terrible. Your
Yeah.
experience is terrible.
Yeah.
You got to have the right controller, right? And then CDJs do sound better. The sound card, it's made for a bigger stage, bigger equipment. But if people have mixers and the right equipment out in festivals, somebody like a Tommy could come and rock out a small tractor just fine without a problem. Yep. So anyway, I said a lot. I do want to thank y'all. I really want to thank y'all. This was great. You've been sitting on my recliner a long time, girl. You look comfortable.
Oh my God! Listen, I have been looking forward to this trip to Jersey to see my look. I got a crush on Millie. I'm going to let y'all know. I love myself some Millie Milz. So give it up, everybody, for my girl Millie.
I'm blushing over here. I'm hot. Caliente. Hello.
I love it.
Hey, listen, before you leave, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, which is the month where we celebrate the contributions that Hispanics and Latinos have made in the United States, which are big. We have people that have been creators, and we have astronauts. judges, everything. You think about it, the Hispanic community has really been a big part of it, and we are also a big part of the house music community.
Yes.
So this month, not only are we celebrating your birthday, you're helping me celebrate my heritage. So thank you for that.
Oh, of course. Look, Tony,
Let's go.
Tony went on out to the car, girl. I told you how he be doing me every time.
I know. Well, listen, safe travels home. Make sure he gets some gas on the way he say he was running out. All right?
I know, right?
Thank you for having me. Thanks for coming by.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye, Millie.
Bye.